In Aragona, Sicily, there was a ravishingly beautiful young lady. And as often happens in situations like this, there were two young men that fell madly in love with her. Well, being in Sicily, and we all know how hot-blooded sometimes they can be, these two young men decided to fight it out to see who she would love. They did, and they both ended up killing each other. Well, when the families found out that their sons had killed each other over this young girl, whose name was Alexandra, they hastily went to wreak vengeance upon Alexandra, blaming her for the death of their sons. They killed her, cut off her head, and then threw her body and her head into the well. Now, in those days, in a medieval town, I'm sure you've seen the pictures, or maybe you've even visited towns like this yourself, the wells were oftentimes in the central square. And not having any television, internet, radio, or any modern means of communication, the central square in these little villages became the hub, the center of all activity and attention. So, she got thrown in this well. A while later, St. Dominic, who happened to be in that area preaching the devotion to the Holy Rosary, was in Aragona. It was late, and he had stopped just to catch his breath and to rest a bit at this well in the center of the city, when all of a sudden he heard a voice say, "Father Dominic, Father Dominic." He looked around, and you or I might have, might be time to move on. Being the man of God and the great saint that he was, he wondered what was going on here and listened a little longer. "Father Dominic, Father Dominic." At that moment he stated, "I demand you show yourself." And at that moment, a head appeared on the wall around the well. St. Dominic, probably being used to some pretty bizarre phenomena with all the miracles and things that happened in his life, even he was a bit taken aback. And he asked, "What is this?" And then the voice said, "Father Dominic, please hear my confession." St. Dominic then approached the head and heard Alexandra's confession. Now, about this time, let's take a moment just to step back and what's happening in the square. Imagine the shop owner on the corner who looks across and sees this bizarre scene. Well, of course, he starts telling everyone. And the flower lady on the other corner, and the little girl, and the man over there, and the lady in the bakery. You get the picture. And all of a sudden, the word spreads as quick as wildfire, and people start to gather, watching this unbelievable scene of St. Dominic hearing the confession from a head. Well, when the confession was finished, and St. Dominic gave her absolution and gave her Holy Communion, he then asked, "What happened? How did this occur?" And she said, "When I was killed, I was in the state of mortal sin. And when my body and my head were thrown in this well, I would have been damned to hell for all eternity if it weren't for the fact that the Blessed Virgin Mary had mercy on me because of the habit I used to have of praying the Rosary. Our Lady herself appeared and kept me alive for 2 days until you arrived and were able to hear my confession." With this, the townspeople were amazed. And there and then, Alexandra died. Her soul was taken to purgatory. And about 15 days later, she appeared, brilliant and bright, to St. Dominic, and let him know that by the mercy of Our Lady and the grace of God, she had been released from purgatory and taken to heaven, where she would now spend her time praying for all of those who pray the Holy Rosary in the intention for the poor souls in purgatory who have no one to pray for them. If you've been amazed by this story and enjoyed this little tale, take a moment, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can receive a notification every time that we have a story like this up on the internet. If you're a person who wants to go deeper in your faith, wants to learn more, wants to love more, wants to serve better, wants to inflame your soul with the desire to reach holiness and sanctity, then take a moment. Go to passionatecatholic.net, sign up for our daily episodes, and every day you and I will spend together on our journey toward our heavenly home. Until next time, Jesus and Mary, get us there.